Artmore is back. Artmore, don't you have better things to do, bro? I mean, you watch me a lot. Artmore is back. Artmore. VM. Why, hello, dude. Seriously, you guys. I'm starting to worry about you. I mean, I look like crap, but you guys keep watching me look like crap. I'm also trying to find the original to this picture. I don't know what I did with it. I mean, I got the closest thing, but it wasn't raining when I took that. And I don't like looking at these old pictures. VM, you're the only YouTuber whose notifications I've turned on. Why? Artmore, you're my favorite YouTuber, dude. Again, it doesn't seem that way from your comments so much. And you two are the three people watching, and one like. Zigzagariah, hi! Patrick, VM, you're boring! This was the voice of Rockin' Ray on Absurd TV. Dorky Dennis, good morning from Sweden. Thank you, Dorty. It is 11:30 in the night at California. El Pistofo, whoa, back for another stream? Yeah. Be honest with you, these are the only things that feel productive right now. And I'm having a low moment. Samojit Jenny, hi, hi. Bruce YT, hi. Zagora Shabad. How do you pronounce that? I think it's actually Shabbat, but it's Hebrew, so I don't. My mother always wanted to learn Yiddish and not Hebrew for some reason.
Zigzag Aura. Subbed.
Oh, subbed. My bad. I'm dyslexic, badly, particularly when I'm upset. Patrick, I liked. Samaji Jenny, hi, hi. I think you said that. Hi, 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 hi. Richard. Zigzagora, liked and subbed. Thank you, Zig. Ardmore, Richard, do you like frozen meals? That's kind of a trick question. I'd rather cook for myself, but I eat a lot of frozen meals because they're easy. But I mean, I go when there's something on sale, I always try it. Chick. Chick. You're dressed like the Buddy Rich kid from Pee Wee's Big Adventure. I don't remember that. Samaji Ginny, I am from Iran, I think. Patrick, watching from New Zealand. Yes, all around the world, statues crumble for me. El Pistofo, did you get any sleep? No, no. I slept a lot before the first stream of the day. Keith Nitz, is that a weather forecast behind you? Hope this doesn't mean me sound. No, this is a photograph from my blog, Richard Review, or photographs of a Mad Richard. I didn't know what to put in the background of these streams to differentiate them, but that's what I do. I put photographs. Plano Uno, good evening, sir. Hi from Indonesia. VM, I'm working on construction for 45 years, so I'm fine with being boring. Right. Doherty Dennis, where are you? Why are you upset? Just some history. And look, I have a lot of reasons to be upset. Not the least of which is the fact that I'm currently fostering way too many cats. Finally, today, after 2 weeks, I got a email back from the cat rescue trying to home some of these animals. And I mean, they're going to let me put up a profile. So that people can adopt my cats, the ones that I don't want. But I still have to name them all, which is like, why are you torturing me? Mehama Shetiri says hi. Zigaria. 9 views, 9 likes. Let me refresh the page, see if I got 9 likes. 11. 11 likes. El Pistafo. KK. Mike. My wife woke up and was still pissed I missed our anniversary, so I'm back on YouTube also. Oh, Mike. Buy her some chocolates and go down. Christopher Angus, my friend's name is Nick. And you are getting a 24-hour timeout. Zigzagaria, you're not boring, dude. Artmore, do your cats love catnip? All cats love catnip. Zigzagaria, want to make me feel you better? Artmore, your. MHA Toxic BS says hello. Raphael Ruin, you like football? My pink guy? Haha, no. No, I do not like football. Nor do I like American hand egg. Philip Hirochi, you are putting good into this world, Richard, so good will come back to you. Philip, I have put so much good into the world and nothing but pain has ever come back. When I worked at the homeless shelter, both of them, everyone agreed I was the best guard, I was the most dedicated, I did the most for the people there. I did everything I could. I really gave it my all. But that's not what homeless shelters are for. Homeless shelters are apparently for making rich people money. They're not for housing homeless people, which really surprised me. So both homeless shelters, the company pulled me. Caliprince, hey Richard, have you ever sneezed, farted, and burped simultaneously? No, I cannot say that I've sneezed so hard I farted. Rainbot, what happened to Tim Dillon? I don't know. Who's Tim Dillon? Have you ever seen the rain? Literal trash. How many did you kill? John Acavado, would you rather visit Korea or Japan? Japan, honestly? Patrick, are you in a bunker with a nuclear button? If yes, please push. No, I am not. Zigzagaria, in the short section. Jehokim Bentulum, hi. Teacups and Lollipops says, hi. Journey Green Aurorali. Casio Belike. Weapon X said hi. Artmore, do you think being asexual is a good thing? You know, who cares? If you want to be asexual, be asexual. I mean, as I say, the reason I have never had children is because I could never give those children a proper life. Kind of makes me asexual. I'm something of a neuter emotionally. It's really hard for me to get, like, into a girl. You know, my experience being you get into a girl, it just, you hype it up, and then it's just for nothing. She's never as good as you think she is. VM, I love how Mike bought you like 7 gifts today, but forgot his anniversary and presumably any anniversary gift for his wife. Yeah. I mean, order her some, like, chocolate-covered strawberries or something. 30 Legoo, name a car for an edit. Saturn SL1. Teacups and lollipops. Hi! Boom Blastic. Hey, bro. Den Zepping. What do you actually do? I am a security officer. Raphael Ruin. Ha ha ha. Teacups and lollipops said hi again. Seamus. Is this guy trans? Are you stupid? Boomblastic! What was PC specs? This is an AMD bulldozer. Old one. It's grinding to its slow and inevitable death. Mike Puchukubradley. Exactly. Literal... where did literal trash go? Literal trash. Why did he get a timeout from saying Dick? Isn't that short? He said Nick. And the other half made it a racial slur. That's why he got a timeout. Half dead official. Now what surprised me? Your chin. You know what surprised your mom? My smile. Is that another pimple? No, it's a dead pimple. It's just shiny. I look and feel terrible. Eric Sachs. Homeless shelters are warehouses for the unwanted. Eric, technically you are correct. I did not work at a homeless shelter. I worked at a homeless program that had a crisis shelter and a long-term housing project. This meant that I had a place for people to show up if they needed somewhere to sleep, and they would be admitted into the program, and therefore we would do things like try to find them a job. And for the long-term people, they had what was called the ROP, or Rite of Passage Program. And that meant, you know, you had a job, you were, you know, putting your life back together, and we were teaching you life skills. So we had a life skills department. You had access to a kitchen, you could cook your own food. That was when I worked with homeless youth. Now, the second facility I worked at, which was more of a homeless shelter, but still reasonably nice by comparison, was, I mean, I think at top rate they were 500 beds. But that was also a program in that they had case managers. But no, they weren't really pushing people to stop be homeless. They were just housing humans. But like the first place I worked at during the pandemic, when they lost a lot of donations, they actually built more housing because of that. And yes, there are levels of homeless shelter. There are homeless shelters where it's just a warehouse for human beings, and then there are homeless shelters that are really nice, and they have good food, and they're trying to get you back on track. The problem is that unless you have a major marketable skill, you're going to stay homeless. That's how homelessness works. I live in California. You're homeless if you have one job. I have 2 jobs, still have trouble making the bills sometimes. Ugh.
Я охотник за привидениями. I am a ghost hunter.
Cool. Thank you, TikTok. Philip Orochi. I hear you, brother. It sucks. When people don't see the effort you put in, the work, man. You know, like I say, I was guarding a very important piece of critical infrastructure once. And I literally was harassed for doing the job right. Everyone was like, no, we want you out of here because you do the job right. That means we can't promote the people that do the job wrong. So, I mean, it's all about friendship, not about doing the job. But I mean, what I was doing was preventing the building from burning down, and if that building burnt down, the ninth largest economy in the world would go dark. So, no big deal. Haran v Fit Club. Haran v Fit Club. Artmore. Lermo! Solid tank. Sup, Rich? Not much. Solid. Zombie Expert 101. What's the one straggly Asian woman you have that no other race understands? What? Ugh. Doherty Dennis, do you feel misanthropic or philanthropic today? I tend to feel more philanthropic. Although, I've never heard misanthropic before.
Misanthropic.
Disliking humanity and avoiding human society. Huh. That one is going to get saved. Let's see here. What the? Let's hope that doesn't fry then. I don't have enough YouTube ports on this computer because I'm using way too many drives right now. Ugh. Jay Razor, I'm Bobo. Okay, Bo. Sigma Chiga, my dog said that he's gay. Well, let him be gay then. What's the problem? You're not screwing your dog, are you? That would also make him gay still. So, I mean, uh, did he give you what you wanted? Because that's you're confusing me. Jay Razor, Bobo the Bouncer. Okay, unless you work at the club I work at, that doesn't mean anything. And I mean, we have a few people I would call Bobo. T.O. to Cheeseburger. Eric Sachs, I don't agree with you. German, 18072, and are you as good as the you think you are? Probably not. I'm probably not as good as I think I am. But everybody keeps telling me what a great job I do. Lori Hunt said hi. Just met a Lori at work. Zach, that's why you take it out on your cats. You and the cats got them same scubs and STDs. Weirdo, you're getting a timeout. I don't need the hate right now. Lucky I don't ban you. Venya artist, work drawing. Hi, bro, how are you? Jay Razor, I married a cat named Jessica and it was best. Okay. Robin, are you Peter Griffin? No. Vinya artist, work drawing. Hi, bro, how are you? Again. Steve Skivia, dealing with a small green discharge as of late. Any advice? Get it checked out. Lexi in Vegas. Richard, prevented a nuclear apocalypse. I only wish. No, I guard critical infrastructure that would probably get nuked, but. Mathematics. Hey, Richard, would you consider eating a Madagascar hissing cockroach on live? Mathematics. I am telling you for the last time, until the Boston baked beans arrive, I don't want to hear any more questions from you. One more of them, I'm giving you a timeout, okay? You can sit in the corner and think about how dumb you are. Nathaniel, smoke, let's go. Fortnite, let's go. BM, hey, Mathematics, would you consider becoming funny when trolling? Yeah. You tell him, brother. Although I don't think that's within him. Two Cheeseburger, VM is a... Nah, he's kind of doing his thing. VM, those trolls are so lame, dude. Yeah, it gets tiring. I mean, I'm told that I'm actually very tolerant of trolls, but messy fan. Favorite moment with your parents? Whitewater rafting with my mother. My father wasn't there. Frozen Fox. If I would give you enough money to buy another house, would you move, or are you sentimentally attached to the house because of your mother? Frozen Fox, this is again a complicated situation. And I suppose if it came down to moving so I could live my life, I would move so that I could live my life. But the optimum situation is not me continuing to live in this house. It would be me preserving this house for my brother, okay, who is not doing well health wise anyway, and then hiring someone who could take care of him because he can't take care of himself, and then moving somewhere else. But I mean, like, dude, do you have any idea how much a house is in California? Like, okay, minimum, you'd have to give me $400,000, you know, and then I could move to like Bakersfield or some crap. So I'd have to quit my job, you know. Gurman, 1802, don't cry, please. Don't be a fifty. Don't cry. Don't be a fifty. You don't need to tell us that you're crying, bro. You can not cry. You can cry all you want. We can't see you. Hector Barron, what are you up to, bro? New here. We're just hanging out. I'm just some crazy dude with depression. This is just one of my photographs on my blog, and we're just hanging out. Lexi in Vegas. Richard Leland Neal pushed the Russians out of Ukraine. I only wish. Gordy Dennis, thumbs up the video. Everybody help Richard out. T.O. Two Cheeseburger. Zach, that's asking too much. Mendahoy, what up, Rich? Happy 123. How does it feel you will die alone? I'm okay with that, actually. We all die alone. My mother died alone in a hospital bed. My father died alone in a room in a whatever it is in a old folks home. You know, my brother said that if my father came to live with us, he'd just let him die. And I mean, we had an extra bedroom for him, so he could have, but my brother wouldn't have it. Coming Stunt 23. Do you know Haston Mookie? No, I do not. Lexi in Vegas. Richard Leland Neal. Can you stop world hunger? Or can stop? Okay. Weird comments. Get times outs. Remember Lexi. She's that free Palestine weirdo. Bendaha 419. Rich. More like poor. Lol. JK, homie, I'm broke as a joke. Coming Stunt 23. I would like for everyone to know Hasti Mookie. Okay. Sammy Bo. I know Hastini Mookie. Okay. El Pistofo. How many in the stream? I see 3. I see 40. 40 in the stream. Helen Simp said, "Har." I put something called mood water in there, and it's supposed to make me more productive, but it's expired. Chunging Stunt 23. Oh my god, same, bro. TO2 Cheeseburger. Happy Richard bent over earlier. Weird. Mathematics. Oh, I lost mathematics. Where did it go? Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Cotton Eye Joe. Mathematics. Hey, Richard. How's the pizza oven going? What did I say about questions, mathematics? At least you're not asking me to eat something weird, so I'm going to let that one slide. But you're getting close. Getting closer to getting time out, dude. Coming Stunt 23. Your roommate is obese with Mukia. Hmm? Sammy Boy. Lol, I'm back. Sammy Boy. My roommate is special needs. Mathematics. Hey, Richard, can I discharge on your... Okay. We'll give you a 5-minute times out for that. Excuse me. Cheeseburger, mathematics. Okay, mathematics. You were also getting a timeout. I'm gonna give you 30 minutes because that's just gross. People don't need to hear that. Sammy boy, hey, literal said he wants to be a Tom girl. Okay. Gurman, who is the old lady that pops up behind you? It's just a ghost. The best. 45. Favorite movie so far? Locked. I think Locked. I actually liked Mickey 17 quite a bit. Jick. Hey, Richard, can you give me your kid juice? No. Zuzu. Mom's basement? Question mark. My mom did not have a basement. Live in California. That's not a thing. Mr. Daly. My friend's girlfriend sits on his face. We don't need to hear that, Mr. Daly. That's between those two people. And I mean, it's fine that you like to watch, but I mean, it's still between those two people. You really shouldn't be sharing that. Artmore, you told everyone, females in the Philippines, those their virginity by their brothers. What is your source? A homeless woman from La said this. A Filipino who was going to my college told me that. She said that it was normal, not everyone, normal for people in her culture to lose their virginity to their father or brother. Okay? She also agreed that it was not right. Okay? Now, that may have been her village. I don't know. The Philippines can be pretty rural. All right? Although, you know, it was also normal. I had a friend named Manuel who I worked with him, back around the turn of the century, who said it was normal for a boy to lose his virginity to a prostitute at the age of 14. So, like that was what you did. Your first time was supposed to be with a woman of experience. 200 pump. Hello. Misug Kumagawa, what's your favorite movie? Aliens. James, hey, good to see you again. Good night. Sleep does a man good. Yeah. Robin, if Jack helped you get off a horse, you've said that, Robin. Go jack off your horse. YouTube bitch. OMG, Dad. You never came back with the milk. Sammy boy, crusty dillhole. YouTube bitch, too much. Mr. Daly, my friend's girlfriend sits on... Okay, you have said that. Repetition breeds timeouts. You get 5 minutes. Komodo, why move to California? I was born in California, and I will be here. RMTV Roadies, hello, where are you from? California. Sibachan, hey bro. James, minimum house is like 500K, looking at 1.2 mil for a decent sized house. Yeah, I know. Anthony Rivas, lol. Sibachan said hi. Danny, what is the formula for water? H2O. Sunny Boy agrees with me. Frozen Fox, why would you preserve the house for your brother who's a violent toward you? To ensure that he does not molest children, Frozen Fox. Um, Beyond that point, like, yeah, okay, I would like to keep the house because if I were wealthy enough, I would actually collect houses. I'd give them themes. But also, the people I would hire to take care of my brother would be friends of mine from the past. I have one woman who could beat the crap out of him if she needed to, and she had to leave California because she lost her job. And she loves animals, like me. So one of the things I would do is I would bring her back to California, and I would pay her to take care of my brother, and she might get a part-time job so that she'd have more walking around money. But and the other one is a gentleman who I worked with. He was a proud Marine. He was my supervisor, and he got done dirty by the company. And like he lives in San Pedro. What I would actually like to do would be to buy a house for the two of them to live in, and then they would take turns coming here and taking care of my brother. And then they could have their own jobs, but they would have their room and board taken care of. So I would be there for them. It's more of preserving the house for them. But I mean, that's a dream, and it's a dream that's not likely to come true, particularly at the age I am. My brother is older than I. He's 49 now, and I mean, the way his health is going, he's not going to live much longer. But also, he's part owner of the house, so preserving the house for him means not paying for his part. Like, if I had to buy my sister out, I'd be like, no, you get a third, as opposed to the whole thing, or two-thirds, because I'm, you know, putting this for my brother. But my sister has control of my brother's money. So if I did pay the two-thirds, she'd get all of it. German, I have only one advice against depression. Just move. I have only some advice for you. Mind your own damn business. Jink, mathematics. Am I love filling our little naughty Richard? Candy Thomas, I just hit your channel and I'm so sorry for your loss. Very sorry, Boston Mass here. Just showing love. Candy? I don't even know which loss you're talking about. My mother died 35 years ago. Uh, Magic! Do farts push the poop out or does poo push the farts out? It's a little of both. Um, if you're constipated, one thing you can do is actually pace or walk around. I mean, again, around the turn of the century, I started walking my sister as you would a dog. I'm not kidding. Like, literally, we'd go walking, and this would stimulate her colon so that she'd have to run to the restroom from time to time. Because the bowels are moved by the muscles of the body. So the more you walk around, the more you can poo. So, although farting generally indicates a higher level of mass in the lower intestines, which means you are ready to poo. So, there you are. But if you're having a lot of gas problems, it's probably because of a lack of fiber. German, sometimes that help. Sometimes you don't. 2000 Pump said, ha! Cardio Vilk. Where are you from? Los Angeles, California. Mike, I gave my brother 300K so when my mom's passes, I would get her house instead of her money. So my kids have a place. Yeah, dude, I mean, like I said, Mike, if I were really well, if like this YouTube were like taken off like nothing else, one of the things I would do is I would try to open a vineyard. And, I mean, I would want to find a small town that's dying, or even possibly one that's dead, and be like, okay, let's find something local so it doesn't require a lot of outside watering, and let's just create a vineyard for whatever that local produce is, and make wine out of it, and then stimulate this otherwise dead economy. Possibly along one of the old steam train stops, which is a big thing. When steam locomotives went out, steam trains were destroyed. I mean, yes, I would go to the local government and say, could you give me a grant or a tax exemption? I would go to the federal government and ask for the same thing in order to build the economy and try to use, whatever it was, like fame or something. I mean, ideally, I would have one of these vineyards in every state. But, except for maybe Rhode Island. I don't think Rhode Island needs help. But it's so small. But, that's just one of those things is that, yeah, what I would do with wealth is not live luxuriously. What I would do with wealth would be to help others. Okay, I've missed a lot. El Pistofo. Did you say mood water? I believe it's MUD, so I don't know how it's pronounced, but some stuff I ran across at the discount market once. Wrote a review. Omni-Man! Yo, what's up, Rich? Not much. Kennepechi! My next door neighbor, Van, says free candy. Call the police. Don't talk to me. Billy's Epic Fortune Channel said hi. Cindy, eek! This looks like Jabba the Hutt. Do you have a Jabba fetish? Is that what turns you on? Omni-Man, yo, what's up, Richard? XY Cookie says hi. I. Cindy, what is that thing so big? Why is that thing so big? I hear that all the damn time. Something crossed out. I didn't know Chris Farley came back as a chomo. Oh, haven't heard that joke before. Mr. Foyle, damn, everybody roasting this guy. It's the internet. Everybody wants to put on their shirt that says, hello, I'm an a-hole. XY, Cookie, what the beer, patapim. Okay. Cindy, I didn't know Rosie O'Donnell had a daughter. Okay, Cindy, you're just gonna tell bad jokes, you can have a timeout. Gurman, so is there something tragic that triggered your depression? Yeah, when I was a child, somebody thought it would be funny to bash my head into a concrete floor. Cause massive nerve damage. That's why I read funny. Go Y! WTF! Brick by brick. Maxing Jas Pivib. Sup, I'm Filipino. Okay. There's been a lot of weird questions about Filipinos today. Mostly Max Ming, because I had a Filipino tell me that where she lived in the Philippines, most women lost their virginity to a relative through molestation. And I don't know if that's the whole Philippines. I'm assuming that's like whatever that area is, but if you have any information on this, please do enlighten us. Chris Reed, nothing wrong being a security guard, sometimes got to do it. Chris, there's nothing wrong with being anything. There's nothing wrong with being a street sweeper. It's the fact that being a security guard generally tends not to pay very well, and most people that do it are idiots. That's hence why I don't do well in a lot of jobs, because I'm not an idiot. should really ban more people, but I just give them times out. Where is he reading the chat from? From this screen over here. I have a screen over here, I have a screen behind me. Steve-O, I got violent diarrhea. Okay. Artmore, when's the last time you and your friends went and had some fun, such as watching a movie? It's been years. My friends live too far away now, you know? They all moved away after college. Chris Reed, better than McDonald's. It's a full-time job. Oh, I get it. Okay. Komedo, what a great life. He who laughs last, buddy. Mr. Foiled, I'm glad I don't have to work. F that lol. Yeah. Chris Reed, depends on what you are protecting. Also, if you have a gun license. I protect a historic building on Gallery Row in downtown Los Angeles. And I also work protecting critical infrastructure in Los Angeles County. So, Breaking Bud. Okay, I am weirded out. You're a strange. Solid Tank. Did she move to Texas? Did who move to Texas? Neatus. Hey, young man, what's happening? Not much, bro. Artmore, what's wrong with your brother? He's a schizophrenic with violent narcissistic tendencies. He is certified disabled by the state of California, and my sister is his conservator. And my sister thought being his conservator meant she could get more money out of me. Chris Reed, people are just people. The world is about to change in a major way. People like this won't be around in the future. Bad people will always exist, bro. Mr. Foiled, money, 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 lol, yeah. Dylan Volter, hi. Kanapichi Ulzembek 369 deleted their message. Chris Reed, lol, this guy is an open book. VM, Cindy, no, that's just from your mother scratching him up. She's a wild cookie woman. Indeed. Chris Reed, haha. He is a special, probably on the spectrum. Mr. Foyle, this guy is obviously an expert on constipation. I have a lot of useless information. I was commonly constipated when my mother was alive because she did not know much about nutrition and had very little energy to cook. You see, they found the cancer when I was born. Curran, mods, please. Oh. Mad Mafoy. Israel Bloodfoot. Okay, bro, I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to say. Solid Tank, best knife fighters in the world. Mike, my depression came from getting run over at work. Since then, I can't sleep good, and I'm frustrated all the time because of no sleep. Okay, Mike, for one thing, are you using a white noise generator or a fan? Because a white noise generator or a fan may help. Also, try to include a salad with dark greens. The power greens at Costco would work pretty well at your dinner because magnesium, I think it is what you need for sleep. So you may just be having a dietary problem. But typically, white noise helps you sleep, and like the sound of rain could work, and a fan generates white noise and also gives you better circulation. So it depends. I mean, I don't know. I can't examine you, Mike. So I can't sit there and say, okay, this is what I think is going on with you. I would need to know about your diet. I would need to look at your bedroom, know about the temperatures and the conditions and all those things. So I don't have that information. I really can't help you with that. My best advice is proper diet and white noise. That's the best I can give you with that tangential information. Robin Hood, enough with the Phillies. How about those Moroccans, huh? I don't know much about them. Rusted Dog says good day. Rusty, where have you been, bro? Christopher M. Solid Tank. Armed security pays decent. Eh, no, it doesn't. I see a lot of people advertising for like less than I make, but armed. You know. DM. Hello, Rusty. The masterful father of life. You think all security guards are idiots? No, but a lot of them are. Christopher, depression is a lie. Effort is overwhelming. Christopher, shut up. You're an idiot. There's literally libraries full of information that says you're wrong. Depression is a symptom rather than a disease, but it is real. It is no less real than a broken leg or a runny nose. Artmore, what did you eat today? A chicken sandwich. And a few snacks. I don't remember. Like, I had these weird seed cracker things. Rusty Dog, thought I'd grace you with my presence. Artmore, I used to see you shopping at the 99-cent store once in a while. Rip 99-cent store. Um, can you tell me which 99-cent store? Because I used to frequent a couple of them. There was one down on Whittier that I really liked, and one not far from the In-N-Out on 7th. Rusty Dog, HIVM. The greatest commander is, and the second. Do you know how Nick found me and when? No. BM, Russ, did you role play today? Solid Tank, did your friends who had to move out of CA move to Texas? I haven't followed anyone who moved to Texas. I do have friends in Texas. I have friends in Oklahoma. I have friends in England, quite frankly. I mean, I got a couple people said, dude, you ever come to London, man? I want to buy you a beer, but I haven't heard from them in a while. It's really hard to keep in touch with people when you don't have a working relationship. Solid Tank, read that one. Artmore, I can't imagine you driving a car. Do you drive a car? If so, what kind of car? Is it a Magnum? It is a Honda Civic. Old and shitty. Rusty Dog, Furry Power. VM, Furry Power. Pat Saint, want to go for coffee sometime? Well, I love coffee. Do you even live in California? Phil Perochi, have you been to the LA La Brea Tar Pits? Yeah, my dad actually used to work across the street from the La Brea Tar Pits. So, I mean, there was one time, I think I was 11. He actually took me to work, gave me a ticket to the La Brea Tar Pits, and said, I'll come back for you. So I wandered around the museum alone. Now that I think of it, I wonder why he didn't bring my siblings, but it was during the Christmas vacation. Oh man, I hate it when I lose my place. Nothing to see here says, Hola, amigo. Marker. Kale Hicks, drinking such and in someone at the same time. Oh, drinking sucks and is awesome at the same time. Huh? Okay. Calprince, Ozempic or Viagra? Neither. I don't have trouble getting it up. VM, by what? The machines, weights? Okay, VM, make whole statements. By what? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're referring to. Frozen Fox. So you are like a Snapple Cap. Yeah, kind of like that. If a Snapple Cap were a book. Thinno. I listen to fall asleep fast music to fall asleep. Relax, sleep, and unwind. Are you can go to relax, sleep, unwind, and fall asleep faster than fast. Okay. VM, Richie, would you ever do a fan meet up if you had the means? Of course I would. I mean, you have to keep the fans happy. They're the reason you're here. You know, you should appreciate your fans. Scarfaced 4, bro, can we just play with your neck fat? No. Arv Ind need a few structural steel fabricators for collaboration in your city or town. Could you help? No, I don't know why you'd ask me. Jack Gravel, you like old cars? Eh, I like old cars, but I mean, I don't have like that's a Dodge Impala, whatever. Rusty Dog, exercising. El Pistafo. Hi, Rusty Dog. Rusty Dog. El. Nothing to see here. What do you do for work? I'm a security officer. Philip Hirochi, Richard, you are a good man. Thanks, Philip. Helping your neighbor, helping the cats, helping the ocean in turn, the climate, the orphans. You are making an impact on the earth. Among my people, Philip, we do have a saying. If not me, then who? This is how a Jew behaves. How a proper Jew behaves, anyway. Rusty Dog, my stepfather might be going to jail. Do you like him? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Jack Gravel. Americans don't know basic geography. Long live Brazil. Oh, Brazil. So many but so little time. MAGA 2025. Brazil's a dump. Yeah, MAGA. So's this place called America. It's run by this orange sunburnt butthole. El Pistafo, depression is very real, highly misunderstood. There's no snapping out of it. Pat Saint, also staring at phone screens is a blue light that keeps Tua awake. Yes. That is a thing. There is a program to stop that, though. Ray-Ban, I based a robot with a metal pipe last night because I'm stuff. Christopher, definitely not, bro. It's a choice to be depressed. Christopher, you don't know what you're talking about. It is not a choice to be depressed. It is not a choice to feel any emotion. I mean, I had nerve damage. It makes you sleep. Okay? Slept all the time. You can have seasonal depression. This is not buttoned. You can have seasonal depression, which you can snap out of with a multivitamin. That's how that works. But depression is real, and everybody knows it except you. And Mike gave me $9.99, 10 for the way you always say El Pistofo name. Artmore, you need a nice Filipino woman to get you going. Artmore, my stepmother was Filipino, and her camel toe almost met her cleavage. So I have bad memories from that. Japanese woman now. That would be a different story. Solid Tank. There's no snapping out of depression, but by making changes in one's life, depression can be reduced a lot. Yeah, depression is something that needs to be managed. And, I mean, you can recover completely from depression. That is a possibility. But again, with me, what you have to understand is it's like having a bullet wound, okay? Imagine I have a bullet wound in my chest and they can't get the bullet out. So the fact that that raw piece of lead is in there is causing infection, and it keeps making me sick. That's what my depression is I have this is what's making you depressed. We need to address this, and then you won't be depressed. So it's always going to be, me trying to find what counteracts that problem. Chatty, I got hit by a man with a metal pipe. He was drunk and kept calling me a robot. Well, Johnny Depp Honda Civic is a classic. Not my Honda Civic. It's a 2011, which means it has a crappy paint job. I need to get it fixed, but, that's not a priority, a crappy paint job on my Honda Civic. Rusty Dog, I forgot to pay the Exorcist and got repossessed. Okay. Zero. Can I come over? No. Johnny Depp. Hurrah, fro! Hurrah, fro! Eagle Rock. Okay, I'm going to skip ahead to the end here, or close to the end. Let's see, just after this weird Russian thing. Jack Gravel, Amazonia. Yazer Fazi, Age Be U Kep Kirk. You appear to have spelled that wrong. Komodo, stop whining. Stop being a bitch. Jack Gravel, so Brasilio com Orgelo. Mega 2025. Amado Brasilia e Garinha. Calprince, Rich, with the Asian persuasion aspirations. There actually is, I think she's Japanese, but I'm not. There's two girls who are Asian at my work, and they are both very nice looking. But then their job is to be very nice looking, and I don't think they'd be interested in me. Adam S., I hope these streams help your melancholy. They do, because it looks like I'm making progress, but Adam, I am in a point of nether. There's this twilight between the thing happening and the thing getting approved. So that is becoming a real pain in my neck. In fact, it may have happened. Let me check here. Soothing water sounds.
These are destinations where...
No, not soothing water. Let me go into YouTube Studio here. Okay. So I currently have 1,845 subs. And I did it! I am past the monetization threshold. So the monetization thing has disappeared. Let me show this to you guys. Right, this is my monetization tab. You scroll all the way down, there used to be the thing with the blue bars across the screen. It's gone now. This channel has reached full monetization and is now being evaluated. So that means that once I get the yes, it's back to 5 videos a day in a live stream. I don't know if I'm going to live stream for as long because, you try to live stream for an hour unless you're making money, but I don't know how much live streams are going to make me when I'm fully monetized. That's the question. Jack Gravel, Brazil pasta naturais. Rusty Dog, my stepfather might be going to jail for beating my mum. Well, let's hope he goes to jail and gets fucking ass raped by 10 dudes. Got no business putting his hands on your mom. I don't care what your mom did. You got no big. If you have that situation, you walk away. Jack Gravel, Brazil is also in the AM. Yeah. Goats Edit said hi. Rusty Dog, solid. My cousin was killed in Vietnam. This is no good. There's no good war. El Pistafel, Richard, have you tried sparkling ice caffeine water? I find them at Dollar Tree. Yeah, I've actually gone to Dollar Tree and gotten them. Um, I'm more of a fan of True North when they have it, which is, I mean, True North is my go-to, but they don't always have it. So, I have like the Dollar Tree by my house, which sucks. Then there's a Dollar Tree like by 7th Avenue or 7th Street, which is really nice. Used to be a 99-cent store. And, you know, going to that one, I get a lot better stuff, but I buy too much crap, which is kind of why I don't go there very often. But yeah, I mean, I should probably have a, this is the build-up day. Philip Hirochi gave me $9.99. Congrats on getting monetized. Thank you, Philip. That was very nice of you. Once again, though, guys, I do have to stress that if you guys, I mean, I'm never going to be sad that I got money, but don't give me money you can't afford to give away, okay? Just, I mean, at the end of the day, my problems are my problems, and this is about working to solve my problems, not crying about it. So, I understand, you know, oh, Richard, you're always complaining. Yes, I do that, but that is, um, what people pay to see for some reason. VM, Rusty, did he die before you were born? Solid Tank, Rusty Dog, I mean to learn about of your cousin. Komodo, 1 sub for every pound. El Pistafo, congratulations. Philip Hirochi, woo, congratulations, Richard. Thank you, Philip. Adam S. I take Laxapro. It helps me immensely. Dude, eat salad. Seems weird coming from me, but I can tell you, nothing gets you going like a salad. Cal Prince, Rich, if any of those 2 Asian women from work show up on your stream, I will super chat you $1,000. Solid Tank, Rusty Dog. If we don't learn from our mistakes, we are doomed to keep repeating them. Indeed. Rusty Dog, yes, he died in 1971. Jack Gravel, what is your salary? That's none of your business. Oh, now I've lost it. I was about... El Pistafo, how long did it take to achieve? More than 10 years. So ashamed of that. Solid Tank, the Vietnam War was completed disaster, and even worse, our veterans faced bad treatment when they came home. Yes, Solid Tank. Firstly speaking, there was no Vietnam War. It was the Vietnam conflict. We did not actually declare war. Yes, it was an absolute disaster. Although they say it contributed to the fall of the Soviet Union, which was, you know, a major thing. Asa Pedwib, your autism is inspiring, so proud of you. Rusty Dog, we do repeat them. That is why we have so many of them. Yes, indeed. Turbo YouTube. Psychiatric without degree. I have a degree in psychology. Rusty Dog, VM, 1978. Mom, that's hilarious, actually. Yes. Solid Tank. Yeah, they repeated the exact same BS with Afghanistan war. Yes, and Afghanistan was much easier for us to deal with much less problems. And again, what I wanted to do in Iraq, what I said was, let's buy out the old equipment from American industry and ship it over to Iraq. Okay, so this would give America an advantage because of new and better manufacturing processes. and give Iraq the ability to make things on their own. Let's build the infrastructure to run this equipment and give them something to live for, because it is a lot easier to create a solid government when you have an economy. And the same thing in Afghanistan. What happened was America pulled out and the Afghan military crumbled. And we were hoping they could hold out. It's like, no, no, you get the Afghan military together and you say, this is your district, police it. America takes care of the rest of the country. Slowly but surely, you give the Afghans more and more territory. Or you start filling in Afghan troops where there are American troops. So a unit will have like one Afghani for every, say, squad. Okay, a platoon generally has 4 squads, so you put one Afghan in every squad. Then you put 2 Afghans in every squad. You slowly start phasing out the Americans, and the Afghans keep rising in rank until you have entire platoons that are Afghan, and that way they're battle hardened. They don't run away like scared children when the enemy shows up, which is what happened in Afghanistan. The Afghan military never actually had to do any fighting, so when the actual fighting happened, they just fled like hell and hoped the Americans would come back. Okay? Now look, I'm of the opinion that we made the mess in Afghanistan, and we should definitely go out there and say, look, don't make us come back. Okay? Whatever terrorist organization is currently running Afghanistan, be like, look, I'm telling you, don't make us come back. You disperse or we come back. Just because we made that mess. But I mean, yeah, I mean it's hard to be like, how do we clean up the mess now that we're out of Afghanistan, and no one will listen to me. No one would listen to me anyway. And it's like, yeah, there'd be problems with my proposals. Okay, that's why you're supposed to get a panel of experts together and see what happens, not just say, "F it, let's get out of there." Be Fatty, how long will you be live? I don't know, bro. I mean, I've made $20, which should pay for the extra half hour at least. But I will say this much. If I have to use the restroom, I will stop being live. KJ Kaylee, do you own a sequined tutu? No, I do not own a sequined tutu. Mega 2025, and that's all I got to say about Vietnam Forest Dump. The actual speech was, Vietnam is a place where you're, something along the lines of Vietnam is a place where your best friend can get shot. PetSmart, hey man, depression is definitely a real thing. I've struggled with it for sure. The best thing I could do for myself is to take care of myself the best I could. Eating well, exercising, being productive. Yeah. Again, there are many reasons for depression. Okay. The first and most likely reason for depression is diet. Okay. If you're eating bad food, you're going to be depressed. That's part of the world. And once you've ruled out diet, then there's a why are you depressed question. Do you have some kind of a disease? Is there a malefactor in your life? And typically speaking, understand this. Depression for me is kind of like in save mode. I cannot live my life with the problem I have. And I keep getting all kinds of dickweeds that come out there and say, why don't you just? What? It's like, I need to fix this problem, and I have to fix it in the way that most benefits me. So it's like I could just say, call up the executor of the estate and say, okay, let's sell the house. Okay, I get screwed in that deal. Now I have rent to pay, and my job won't cover it. So yeah, I could move to another state. That's the only thing I could do. I get screwed, but I'm done with my family. What I need to do is, get to the point where I can pay a mortgage so I can own a home. That doesn't happen. What's the point? El Pistafo, True North, sodium free? Question mark. I don't remember. It's been a while. They haven't had it in a while, but that's what I used to drink when I I was working at the headquarters for the infrastructure people. Adam S. Dollar Tree always sells like a tree air freshener for Kara. Oh, for car, you mean? Ardmore, Philip Fine Ash. Troubled Trouble. Congrats on the 4-foot crap. Only 4 feet? Really? Adam S. Cars. Jack Gravel. The Mega 2025 translates for me in Portuguese. Brazilian Portuguese. Kimberly Wright. Can you play Fortnite? I guess. J Dove. Will the aliens save us? No. No one is coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. Now they say love it will save us. But how can that be? Look what love gave us. A world full of killing and blood spilling. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. Spider-Man theme. KJ Kaylee, new car smell air freshener. Pashamoth, where is your badge, sir? My badge is actually on my uniform shirt over there. Prashanth, or read that one. Pariat Decreat. Hello, beauty. Do you love zigzag? No. Mega 2025. No names, guy. Soy de Mexico, de mis almost gay. Drakatas Kid. Bro, can you do a backflip? No. No, I can't. Pretty sure I can't do a backflip. Rusty Dog. Vic color made no difference. Soy Mister. I think it's second, not minutes. For those of you that don't know, Rusty Dog is of the darker skin persuasion. Vic Chavez. Black men last about 16 minutes before they got killed. In now. Rusty, there is a higher mortality rate amongst the African Americans that were sent to Vietnam, I do believe. Ardmore, Richard, is your stepmom alive? No. She's roasting in hell with my father. Vic Chavez, could tiger anxiety, rage, dependency? Could trigger. Jack Rattle, do you want to visit Brazil? The beaches? No. I honestly say I'm not a big fan of going to other countries. And other countries where, the police suck. And, like, I'm told that if you go to Brazil, keep a fake cell phone on you and a fake wallet for when you're robbed. Ardmore, Richard, what was wrong with her camel toe? My stepmother just had a really big camel toe, dude. I mean, she wore clothing to show off her camel toe, and the frickin' thing was enormous. It's like you could stick a football in there. Tricky one, stop dyeing your hair. I don't dye my hair. This is natural. El Pistafo, do you say how long it took to get monetization? It took 10 years. It was very long. Vic Chavez, Vic Guns had it in for blacks. I don't think the Viet Cong cared, so long as they killed an American. But it is true that a lot of black people were put in more dangerous situations in Vietnam. Rusty Dog, what is a camel toe? A camel toe, Rusty, in American English, is when a woman's clothing shows the shape of her vaginal area. And it looks like a camel's toe. So basically, a camel toe is the shape of the female vagina in humans. That's the slang what it's used for. Vic Chavez, and the ship is sinking. Yes. Jack Gravel, here is a jigger? Vic Chavez, where is the orchestra on the Titanic? I guess I'm going to have to skip ahead a bit because the algorithm tells me to. More Vic Chavez. Bukab is the president of El Salvador. Okay. Non vi soup. Never white back to front. What? Vic Chavez, lol. Mathematics, period. Mike, soup that's only for woman. Win. Anthony Rack 1, what do you call a gay Jewish guy? A Hebrew. Mathematics, Richard, did you look at the camel toe? I mean, you could pretty much see it from 100 yards away. Vic Chavez, she could have used a facelift. My stepmother could have used a lot of things. Mathematics, would you consider changing your name to Red Nut? No. What did I tell you about the questions, dude? Buy the baked beans or stop asking stupid questions. Rusty Dog, not funny, Anthony. Gabesol, what's the difference between a skeleton and a charlatan? I don't know. Sal PDR, hello, good sir. Passioneth, do you think U.S. military can defeat Afghan Taliban? Lol. Ask Soviets the power of the Taliban. Okay, you do realize that American weaponry in Ukraine has absolutely humiliated the Soviets. No, we could crush the Taliban, but they hide like rats. In a straight out fight, they wouldn't stand a chance. Okay, page is gonna crash. I have to refresh this page every now and again, and it's not refreshing. It's just thinking about it. Oh. This house doesn't burn down slowly. To ashes, and I'm never changing who I am. Mike, what should say Moose Knuckle since we don't have camels in the USA? Well, we have zoos. Mike Dyer, lol. Ish honey mustard if it had depression. Ardmore, do you like sushi? No, I do not. Jack Gravel, sorry my English is bad. My course was free. Yeah. Rusty Dog, sushi okay. J.K. Kelly, woman's bikini area is center of the universe. Philip Hirochi, have you ever thought about using your psychology degree and becoming a telehealth therapist? Yes, I have actually applied for that job. Never got a response. Mathematics, I got the beans. Okay, again, when they're delivered. Vic Chavez, does anyone here suffer from depression? Don't hand? Mathematics, thief in my reference waiting for you. Anthony Rock, yes, it is funny. Get a grip, rat dog. Noe soup, I bet you served the camel toe. Service. She wished, dude. Like, I had to tell her we had a strict hands-off policy. She was never to touch me again. Of course, you also have to understand that my stepmother, before marrying my father, was a prostitute in Nigeria. Okay? So she had hundreds of men. And she was also a lesbian. So, yeah. Vic Chavez, I had 3 dependents to the Corangal Valley. Mathematics, I see no bean eating. Again, dude, they're on my Amazon wish list. buy the beans. I'll eat them. Vic Chavez, you're 100. Cal Prince, American flags. Vic Chavez, the Russians are getting punked by civilians. Yes, they are. Of course, I'm going to say this. I do not accept the concept of a ceasefire in Ukraine. America should tell Russia, either one, get your ass out of Ukraine, or two, we start sinking your naval ships. You want to fight nasty? We'll fight nasty. Your bombs don't work no more. Your nuclear arsenal is a joke, your army is a joke, and we are done with you bullying other countries. We will mess you up. It's time for the Great Patriotic War, and America's going to win. Rusty Dog, we have camels in Australia. Yeah, I know. They're an invasive species. J.K. Kelly, was Paul Blart Mall Cop written about you? No. I've never worked at a mall. Vic Chavez, and Uranus is a black hole. El Pistafo, I like California sushi roll. Remember, El Pistafo, that sushi refers to the bitter rice. So, a California roll, despite not being Japanese, being Californian, is indeed sushi. Okay, mathematics is getting a 24-hour timeout for being gross. Artmore, Richard, did you watch That's So Raven in middle school? That's So Raven, was that even out when I was in middle school? That's So Raven. Gotta check on that. I've never even heard of that before. That's So Raven, 2003. Dude. I'm 45 years old. That's So Raven was not in existence when I was in middle school. Rusty Dog, Uranus is a planet. It's Uranus, of course. I'm pronouncing it wrong. Uranus is gaseous. Yes. Komodo, stepmom wanted the mustard. Being a prostitute, I think that was just how she communicated affection in general. Although she was a terrible fucking human being. She just was. She would get upset when my father did anything for me. It was one of the reasons my father refused to give me money for college, is because it upset his wife, my stepmother, which he eventually divorced her. And it was like, look, dude, the second you watch this woman steal something from your children, should have been, okay, no, you're gone. You go over to the judge and you say, this woman stole from my children. Judge is like, okay, you get nothing. Red buried the pig. What do you get a job in politics then? Why would I do that? Look, I write to my politicians all the time. I generally get ignored. Biden's communicator sent me a few letters back, which you can read on my blog, Richard Letters to Cassie and other folks. But Jack Gravel, Brazil, Philip Hirochi, ever been to Speed Zone off the 60? Is that even still open, Philip? Because again, it would have been 20 years ago that I've been there. It used to be this restaurant that looked like a steamship, and my mom took me to that, and then that was torn down, and they built Speed Zone. Vic Chavez takes 3 cheeses to make one of us. Rusty Dog, Australia. Mike, there's a monkey island in South Carolina, and I don't know what they do to them. Sounds like a topic for me to review when I'm making a lot of money, and I can go down there and have a look. Vic Chavez, note to self, no. Phil Perochi, have you ever seen Quickly Down Under? Yes, I saw it in theaters, believe it or not. Turbo 2.0. Hi, Jack Ravel. Temp Ugum de Brazil. Chavez, 90. Jack Ravel, Num Pubaco. El Pistofo, I don't know much about sushi. Thanks for explaining. Yeah, again, sushi is the rice, sashimi is the fish. So, technically speaking, if you put, say, beef jerky on sushi, on the rice, it's still sushi. Would be very Japanese, but I mean, we've really adopted. I mean, like, look, I don't know how it is now, but it used to be in Uptown Whittier. There were like 3 restaurants within walking distance of each other that served sushi. And I'm not a big sushi fan. I'm more of a tempura fan. And I mean, look, when I lived with family, when my sister still lived with me, we actually used to have once a month. We would have Japanese night, and we would all eat with chopsticks, and we'd make tempura. You know, it was a thing we did. Peresneth, Russia is not just fighting against Ukraine alone; it is fighting against the whole of Europe and its weaponry, and getting humiliated. Rusty Dog, I remember the Berlin Wall coming down. I think that's the 80s were best. Yeah, it was a time of the greatest American triumph. Turbo 2.0, I was not born when the show came out. Russell, who would rather have at your slumber party, Ultimate Warrior or Dan Aykroyd? I don't know who Ultimate Warrior is. Tricky one, but Dan Aykroyd would bring the booze. Ah. Tricky one. Times have changed. You can date a black man now. So go date a black man. Be happy. I knew a homosexual from Poland, and he moved to America, and he loved black men, and that was his thing. And it's like, okay, dude, you know, you do you. Nick Casamillo, Frank Davidson, stick your tongue out. Okay, that was done. Rusty Dog, Russell, my girl. Mike Dyer, stop speaking for your mother. It's garbage. Have class. Vic Chavez, why? Because. The Saint, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Mr. Gorbachev, eat my nuts. Hardpin, if you could, what would you like to talk about? I can and I do. Stay Minjia, what up, playa? You look sharp tonight. Do you accept donations? I do accept super chats, yes. Carl, will you go to the Diddy's party? No. Mike Dyer, what's it like fighting the forked JK already know who won? I fought the lawn and the lawn won. Pet Saint, how do you get Pikachu on a bus? You poke on. Retro Life, please shout out to my channel. Jordan Lott, sushi party with Richard. Woohoo, you, Richard, let's have a taco beef jerky party. Frank Davidson, I'm back. Retro Life, I'm a big fan of you. El Pistofo, I missed John Belushi. The Saint, Ultimate Warrior was WWE wrestler. Is he dead? Oh, I remember him. Yeah, he is dead. 11 years dead, in fact. My brother was a big fan of him. Rusty Dog, Carl, I am sick of hearing about the sex offender. Ugh. Vic Chavez, WWF. World Wildlife Fund. Turbo 2.0, oh, how I wish I was drinking a hot cocoa. Philip Hirochi, have you ever been to Frank and Sons? Pretty cool place. Frank and Sons. Let's have a look. Off Gale. No, I don't think I have. It's right next to a Benihana, too. I've never been to. No, I've never been to a Benihana. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it's just past Plenty Hills, but no, I've never. Look, I don't get out much. Really, I don't. Oh no, no, I've been in the area of that. I'm pretty sure. It's like it's across the street from the Lowe's. So I've definitely been in the area. Oh, you know what? It's yeah. Wasn't there a plaza at Plenty Hills? Yeah, that's right across from the Plenty Hills Mall. So no, I've never been there, but I mean I've been right by there a couple of times. Philip. Artmore, Richard. Okay, no, run away. Richard, do you like El Pollo Loco? Not really. Haven't been there in like 10 years. I mean, I have nothing against it. It's just, they're not really in my area. Vic Chavez, Long Pigs. Komodo, Great Hairline. Vic Chavez, seen that movie? No, I haven't. Frank Davidson, I'm black too. Frank, let's stop worrying about the color of our skin, okay? You know, it's fine if you're black. There's nothing wrong with being black. It's just a skin color. Okay, it's what's inside that matters. Turbo 2.0. What is that supposed to mean? Eh. Frank Davidson. I love Vic Chavez and up like Winslow from Family Matters. Rusty Dog. Buck 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 squawk. 80s had better movies. Yeah. Vic Chavez became Sting. Okay. Davidson. I love water. Nothing to see here. Yes, Vic Chavez, World Wrestling Federation. It is now World Wrestling Entertainment. Jordan Lott, yo, Richard, can you be my driving instructor? I want to drive an awesome car. No. Vic Chavez, in Roland Heights. Retro Life, Poland is a nice country. Not according to Kevin. Kevin told me, though, that the only reason he knew who his father was because somebody told me his father died. And he went to his funeral, and that was all the interaction he ever had with the man. Michael Brogans, even the ultimate warrior could not escape the sweat darkness of death. Sweet darkness of death. Tricky one, don't be disrespectful to your dead stepmom. You had your chance to confront her, but you wimped out. I did confront her. Jackass. Nothing to see here. Benny Who. Benny Hanna. Turbo 2.0. Oh, how I wish I was drinking a hot cocoa. El Pistofo, Breakfast Club movie with Molly Ringwald. Still haven't seen it. Davidson, Eye of Water Mouth Tongue. Turbo 2.0, Hot Cocoa. Rusty Dog, Benny Hill. Benny Hanna. The Saint, sorry, yes, WWF. WWF is gone now. It's now something else. Rusty Dog, he's dead too. Michael Brogans, hear about the Polish carpool? They met at work. Philip Rochi, only a city away from you, I believe. Yeah, I mean we're pretty close. I mean, it looks like you're into martial arts. Did you ever hear of an Un Sakachoi? He was a Korean martial artist. I believe he was Olympic level, although I knew him personally. He never really talked about his winnings. But Un Sakachoi was a friend of mine in high school. Philip Roche, did you know that Shock Back the Future... Yeah, I knew that they shot Back to the Future at that mall. In fact, when they talk about the Punney Hills Mall, they call it the Back to the Future Mall. And if you go to that mall, the sign, the Twin Pines sign, is actually there. Or at least it was last time I was there. But it's been a long time since I've been to the mall. I don't get out much. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, is that Back to the Future was one of my favorite movies as a kid, and, I knew that it was shot at that mall. J. St. John, sup chat, it's 1 a.m. Yes, it is. Vic Chavez, it was Paco Taco in high school. Okay. Pat Saint, WWF is not dead, it is World Wildlife Federation. Exactly, it's something else. Vic Chavez, I went to Vic's facing Big Five. Or Wick's facing Big Five. Philip Rochi, I'm down the street from West Covina High. Okay. It's like I've probably driven by your house. No, you're on the wrong side of the freeway. Yeah, my computer guy actually used to live down there. Hey Philip, did you ever go to a restaurant in West Covina called Love's? I mean, it may have changed its name to like something Ranch, but do you remember where that was? Because I remember that the place used to be something else, then it was a Love's, and then it was something else, and I think it's shut down now. But I really wish I could remember what it was. I wish I could go because my mother used to take me there as a kid, and she loved that place. And then when she died, my father stopped taking me there, but um, it was like West Covina or just past West Covina. Wilson Nirgshin said hi. Michael Brogans, the World Wildlife Federation has taken about incorporating more animal wrestling increase funds. Philip Hirochi, closer by the mall, actually. Yeah. I mean, again, dude, I used to go to that mall all the time. Nikazimilo, Frank David, sorry for spamming. Vic Chavez was used to sneak out and go to Paco Taco Burger, Good Burger. Vic Chavez, Snow on Roof. Uh, the Saint, Hulk Hogan versus Iron Sheik. Phil Perochi, Love's was right next to the 10 freeway. Question mark. I mean, I remember I would take the 10 to get there. Okay. I don't remember where it was. So it was like right past or I know I used to see that one high-rise building by the shopping center where there used to be a Hooters, and there was an Islands. And I don't know if the Hooters and the Islands were there when Love's was there, but I used to I used to. I mean, my mother would drive at the time, so I don't really remember. But I remember we would take the 10 freeway to it. But I can't remember where it was. J.K. Kelly, the Wild Salmons died from excessive cabbage eating. Okay. Final destination, women live are easy, period. You've said that before. Rusty Dog, the Iron Sheik is dead, I think. Hulk Hogan ain't far from it. Michael Brogan's Junkyard Dog or Jimmy Superfly Snuka. What the? Yeah, Philip Hirochi. Wells Fargo was there, and I think you were talking about MJ Ranch. MJ Ranch, that's what it was. Is that still open? Or at least I think it's MJ Ranch. I mean, it's been a long time. I remember I spoke to the manager of the place, and they were like, Loves wasn't showing us the love, so we got rid of them. MJ Ranch Restaurant. Oh, it's getting really low reviews too. Yeah, this has got to be it. Man, I might just pop down there right now to see the old place. They had a moose. Okay, guys. I've really got to go to the restroom. So I've been here for almost 2 hours. I will see you all later. My parents took me there all the time, and I remember they had a claw machine by the front door. They didn't have that when I was there. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. I'm Richard.